All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Uncle Wristlock Podcast. And for this episode, we're going to talk about a topic a little unusual. Some guys say Jiu-Jitsu saved their life. It gave them confidence, brotherhood, structure, and discipline. But when you're a pastor, when your identity is rooted in Christ, how do you hold that phrase carefully? Today, I'm talking with a Christian pastor who's also a purple belt, Quoc Nguyen, and today we're going to dive into the benefits of Jiu-Jitsu, the dangers of making it your identity, and how to balance ministry, family, leadership, and getting smashed by 22-year-olds 3 nights a week in the gym. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm stoked to be here.
It's good to see you. So give us a little breakdown of your stats.
Okay. So my name is Quoc. I'm 50 years old. That's Masters 4, I believe.
Let's go.
Masters 4, which, man, the thing about Masters 4 is it's so hard because nobody competes. So I either always have to go down in age or up a weight. And anyway, Masters 4, I'm a purple belt, and I train at Rice Brothers Jiu-Jitsu in Reading. Yeah, and I've been here for about 3 years. And before I trained with you at Brazilian Top Team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And I started out at Caregiving in San Jose, but now I'm living in Reading, and I've been training here for over 2 years.
All right.
Yeah.
So before we dive into the topic of the day, how Jiu-Jitsu can save or maybe can't save lives, tell me a little bit how you're doing with training these days and training with the Rice Brothers.
I love it. So every gym that I've trained at, it's different, and loved every gym that I've trained at. At Calterra, it was very technical. Put your hand exactly here. If it's not working, you're doing the technique wrong, right? You got to trust the technique. At Brazilian Top Team, it was different. I came in and it was different, and I liked it that because I'm a smaller guy, and so I liked that a lot of the instructors were smaller guys, and so small man jiu-jitsu.
Shout out to Coach Igor.
Yep, Coach Igor, and that's what I'm like. Oh, if it works for him, because my legs are short too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I love the environment there. Just a friendly gym. And then now I'm at Rice Brothers, and can I tell you, when I came in, my attitude was, all right, I've been a blue belt for a while now. I'm starting to beat some purple belts. I'm going to come in and I'm going to show them what I got. And I came in there, and this is the toughest gym that I've trained at, and they're just tough dudes. And
they're known for their wrestling. Am I right?
Yeah.
The brothers. Yeah.
They're tough guys. They're bigger, and just everyone in the gym it's just a tough gym. Okay. And I got there, and I was getting smashed by everybody.
Survive.
And so each gym has a different emphasis, and they focus on certain techniques. And so it's been really good to just learn from different people.
Yeah. Here at the start of the year, what's your focus for this year? What game are you working on these days?
So at Brazilian Top Team, I really learned right before I moved here, I really learned deep half. Gus taught a deep half class, and I'm like, oh, this is for me, because I'm small, my legs are short. It's hard for me my guard is not that great, and so I can sweep from deep half. I can take the back from deep half. I love doing waiter sweeps from deep half, and so Gus started me on the deep half game, and that's what I've been doing. Lately, it's funny. Lately, I've been into judo. I've been wanting to do throws. And
at
right
50,
now,
brother.
At
50?
At 50.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's that skateboarder in you. Just destroy your body. It's fine.
Yeah. And
so
I've been kind of just watching more judo videos, and I've been implementing throws. Man. And it's been fun. I'll try anything, right? I'll just try it. You have a lot of failures, but then when you hit one, it feels real good.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. So how did you get into Jiu-Jitsu? How did you discover Jiu-Jitsu?
So I started Jiu-Jitsu when I was 43 years old. Okay. And so I started late. I had a friend who at the time he was a black belt. And since he was a blue belt, I believe, he'd been trying to get me to start jujitsu. But I didn't start until he became a black belt. And so he's been, hey, you should come to
Oh,
jujitsu. Come check out jujitsu. It's fun.
yeah.
And what happened was I was really overweight and I was just diagnosed with diabetes. And my
Mm.
doctor was like, you need to work out. And I said, all right, what can I do? And I'm like, I think I'll try this jujitsu. So I went in my first jujitsu class. I was like, I didn't even know what jujitsu was. I had no idea what it was. I just knew it was some type of martial art. And after that class, after my first class, I knew. I said, this is it. I went home to my wife and I was like,
First
hey,
class. I keep hearing this. First class.
first class. I'm like, this is it. Because I wrestled in high school.
Okay. Nice.
And when I did jujitsu, I'm like, oh, it's that feeling again. And when I say I wrestled in high school, it was like 1989. So it was a long time ago.
But like
But I was like,
25 years
yeah.
gap, right?
I was like, it's that feeling again.
Mm.
And I come to jujitsu to sweat. I come to jujitsu to feel tired afterwards. After every class, I sit on the bench, and if you were to look at me, you think, wow, that guy's miserable. Because I'm like, ugh. But really, I love it. I look miserable, but I feel good. And so I
Yes.
come to sweat. I come to work out. And so that's why I started jujitsu.
Yes. I always tell white and blue belts to embrace the grind. Like the suffering, the feeling miserable, especially if you didn't do sports before jujitsu, like sweat. Some people don't even like to sweat, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you have to make that switch to feeling miserable at the end of the day, feeling tired, exhausted. It's a good feeling.
Dude, it feels great. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love it. And I come home and usually I do a lot of morning classes. I come home, my wife is just waking up and I'm like talking and it's the endorphins kick in
Yeah.
and it feels good. It feels good.
Yes. So that's your morning routine is the morning
Yeah.
class. Yeah. How early?
So I'll do several 6 a.m. classes here
Yeah.
and then some 10 a.m. classes
Oh,
mostly. But
okay.
mostly I do
Yeah.
several 6 a.m. classes. I have to wake up like at 5 to drive
Yeah.
there because I kind of live outside of the city. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. So big gym. You got a 6 and a 10
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a noon too?
No, there's no noon.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a
Okay.
6 and a 10 and then an evening class.
All right.
And then no
Yeah.
gi at 9 if you're into that.
Oh man. Nice. In some respects, phrase jujitsu saved my life. In some ways,
Totally.
with the weight and the diabetes, there's some truth to that.
It literally saved my physical life. And because I was a couch potato for 10 years. And
Hmm.
I was active when I was younger, skateboarding. But then I was like a couch potato. I'd work and come home. I would eat so much. And I was almost 200 pounds, right? I'm
Hmm.
165 right now. And I'm
Hmm.
5'5". I'm a short guy with short limbs. And I was almost 200 pounds. I was 199 pounds.
Hmm.
And so my wife loves to hike. She loves to be active outdoors. And she would want to go hiking. And because I love my wife, I would want to do what my wife wanted to do, but I hated hiking
Hmm.
because it was so hard for me because I was so
Hmm.
overweight and so heavy. Now
Hmm.
I love it. Now, oh yeah, let's go hiking and we'll go and I
Hmm.
can go and I can go. But
Hmm.
because of jujitsu and changing my diet, it gave me a new physical. My middle age is healthier than when I was in my 20s and my 30s.
Yeah. I turned 50 during the pandemic and got eight hours of commuting back
Mhm.
and was able to exercise regularly for almost 300 days of that year. I exercised every day. And I like to tell folks that you can be in better shape at 50 than when you were at 45.
Totally.
Like if you're out of shape when you're 43, 45, life is not over. You can be in better shape at 50 than you're at 45. And
Totally.
that's one great thing about jujitsu is that it can keep you healthy,
Yeah.
keep you energized and active.
Yeah. There's this black belt at my gym. He's 58 years old. he kills me.
Hmm.
He controls me. He's 58 years old. He kills me. There's a guy who's 63 years old and he's a black belt, and I can't like him.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
and these dudes are they're fit. They have technique, and I look at these guys and it gives me hope.
Yeah. Things to look forward to. Tell me a little bit, Quoc, how skateboarding background affects your jiu-jitsu or how you approach jiu-jitsu.
Skateboarding. The thing about skateboarding is if you don't give up, you get good. Like if you don't land a trick, it's a lot of repetitive action, and you try and you try and you try and you get used to pain, you get used to bleeding, and you do it because it feels good. Like you do it for the fun and it feels good, the kind of the thrill of it. And so you bring that to jujitsu. And like I said, when I started it, I came home, I told my wife, "Hey, I found my new skating. This is it. This is
Hmm.
my thing now." And so there's actually I know a lot of skateboarders that are really into jujitsu. And so it's the same mentality. The skateboarders can become obsessed with something. And so they find, it's like you find something else and I'm obsessed with this.
Where did you grow up and where were
San
you
Jose,
skating? San
California,
Jose.
San Jose. Yeah.
Big skateboarding scene there?
Yeah. Really good skateboarding scene there. And
Oh, okay.
in the 90s is when I was
Oh,
skating.
okay. Nice.
Late 80s, early.
I recently saw a video of Mighty Mouse going to Uriah Faber, alpha male, Faber's gym. And, in the comments, people were saying he looks like a skater.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the King of the Cage MMA shows, and it did have like a skater vibe, like in the late 80s, 90s, like jujitsu and surfing and skating in SoCal, like on the mat
Yep.
and tap out. It's there's a lot of crossover.
There is. There is.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
for this is a little curveball. What do you say as a pastor or have you had people say, like, how can you do jujitsu, like Brazilian jiu-jitsu specifically, which is associated with MMA? How can a Christian be a martial artist and study hand-to-hand combat? What's your take
Well,
on that?
well, uh, so it's funny in the book of Titus, it lists Paul is writing to Titus and he's saying, "Hey, I want you to put overseers in every town you go into uh, on the island of Crete," because that's where Titus was. And so Titus is supposed to go and appoint leaders. And then Paul, here's a list of the qualities of the leaders. Stuff like not quick to anger, not a drunkard, a husband of one wife. And then one of the things is not violent,
Hmm. Yeah.
not violent, right?
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about it, like, well, I love jujitsu, and I don't know, it's the gentle art, right?
Hmm.
And so violence is not so much whether or not you can do violence, because as people who do jujitsu, we can do violence, but violence is more of an attitude, because you can be violent with your words, you can be violent with the way you look at a person or the way that you treat a person to dominate a person, right?
Hmm.
Or I find that a lot of times when people do jujitsu and they learn that I have the ability to hold a person down. I may be able to choke you unconscious or to break a limb. It builds this confidence where you're not insecure. And I find that a lot of the violence is through either emotional insecurity or just some kind of an insecurity inside of you that would cause you to be like that. And
Yeah.
so that's the way I look at it. And plus, if you read the Old Testament, like there's that scripture, "Blessed be the Lord my rock who trains my hands for war and my
Mm-hmm.
fingers for battle," right? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's a sport. It's for fun. It's for self-defense. And I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've had good experiences in the gyms that you've trained in, but uh there can be, and there's lots of benefits of jujitsu, but there can be kind of a dark side to it, violence for one.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the difference between loving jujitsu and making it your identity, or it becoming something negative
Yeah.
in someone's life?
Well, for me, so as a follower of Jesus Christ, my identity comes from God, who God says I am, who he created me to be, that my validation comes from the fact that Jesus died for me, not while I was something great, but the Bible says that he proves his love towards us in this, that when we were yet sinners, Christ
Yeah.
died for us.
Yeah.
So my validation doesn't come from my performance. And so when I look at jujitsu, I can't look at it as, oh, this is my life. Yes, I am a jujitsu practitioner, but it's not my life. I look at jujitsu as a gift. It's a gift. It's something that God has given us.
Yeah.
It's something that I can partake in, and it's something that I can enjoy, but it's not my whole life. The same thing with skateboarding. Skateboarding, these things, you look at it as a gift, not as this is life. This is a gift for me to enjoy, for me to benefit from, that God has given us. It would be sad if my life was revolved around uh, a piece of wood connected to some urethane wheels, right?
Hmm.
And I got my whole worth from that.
Right.
But at the same time, there have been people who have built their whole careers and their livelihood around skateboarding or around jujitsu.
Right.
But we have to look at it as these are gifts given to us to enjoy. And for some, it will benefit us more than others, because for some, you turn pro, you do good at contests, you open your own gym, and the gift has given to you. But gifts are given to us, yes, to bless us, but so
Yeah.
that we can bless others with the gift. So it's not just about me. And so I can be given jujitsu and I can make it all about me, and it becomes a dysfunction. I can make it so it's my name. You got to treat me this way because I have all these IBJJF medals and I am so and so. And as we've seen lately in the jujitsu world, just because you're talented at something doesn't make you a good person.
Yes.
And so it's what you do with that gift that is given to you.
Yeah. I've definitely seen a conversation recently about being a black belt in jiu-jitsu doesn't make you a good person just because you're good at jiu-jitsu. And there are so many things about the process of becoming good at jiu-jitsu that can form character, discipline, work ethic, courage. Those are good things. But the hardship of it also, it doesn't guarantee that it forms you into a good
Yeah,
person.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so my roots are in the church. I used to be a pastor. I'm not pastoring right now,
Mm.
but my roots are in the church. And we were taught to serve in ministry. I was taught you're here not for yourself. Your ministry is not for you. It's to glorify God, but it's to serve others. That's what it's about.
Mm.
And so it's funny. I take this to the gym, and in the gym, I'm not like the best guy around. I'm old. I'm a purple belt. I know some stuff, right? And when someone new comes in, I love partnering with new people. First day, second day, first couple months, I love
Yeah.
partnering with them
Right.
because first of all, I want them to feel welcome in the gym, because it can be intimidating, right?
For
You
sure. You
come
got to
in,
adopt the white belt.
yeah. And so
Yes.
you come, hey, welcome to the gym. Let me show you, let's partner up. And then you
Mhm.
let them work, right? You
Let me
tap
show
them.
you how to tie that belt.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just, you begin to, I love teaching fundamentals. Yeah, just to get people started. And so,
Yeah.
and I find that as it's a form of serving. I'm
Yeah.
serving you. But I
Yeah.
find that if they get better, I get better. And it creates a whole atmosphere in the gym. I know that there are some guys that they're just looking for the new white belt so that they can just practice all their moves on, which I do practice my moves on lower belts. But
You
there,
got to.
because that's part of it, right? That's part of
Yes.
training.
Yeah.
But we want to make people feel welcome. Sincerely want people to get better at their jujitsu. I feel good when they're getting better at jujitsu.
Yeah. It's
And so
fun.
because we're there to serve.
What do you think, Quoc, about the uh these unhealthy gyms where the coaches, the leaders, allegedly, or definitely there's been instances where leaders are going to jail for it, where they're abusing their students and exerting, they're not serving their students. They're have that sense of entitlement where they're taking advantage of their students.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a gym like that. And if I had kids training, I wouldn't want my kids to train in a gym like that. And so, yeah, I it's these unhealthy environments are not good for jujitsu. But I do feel that the culture is going to change. In my personal experience, I've just had good experience, a good experience in the jujitsu world. I've not been in a gym that had been kind of weird like that. And I don't know if it's gosh, I don't know if it's a Brazilian thing, right? Like I don't know if there's some cultural things in there. The first gym I did train at was a Brazilian gym, but it had a great culture. And so I don't know if it's an old school worship of the professor, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if it would be just a cultural thing, and we don't want to get canceled.
I know.
Our beloved Brazilian listeners, don't cancel us. We're just brainstorming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out how to keep people safe. And as being a part of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community at large, it can be hard to talk about these things, but it's important to talk about. And I think, having conversations, calling it out is one way to start to change unhealthy environments, and unhealthy cultures, or I would say systems, right? And I think that's one of the things that can make schools, but also churches, like unhealthy. How do you go from a healthy church to like a cult, right? One of them is when there's high control and like no accountability for the leader. So can you tell me a little bit how you balance like family and training at 50? It's hard
Well,
when
yeah,
you're when you've got family.
it is hard. And especially my family is a little different because I have an 11-year-old son who is profoundly autistic.
Mm,
Uh, he doesn't have speech right now, and
mm,
he's 11. We just potty trained him over the summer. He
oh, wow.
I The reason I am not in ministry anymore is because I am now his full-time caretaker.
I see. Yeah.
And so that's my full-time job. Whereas before I was in full-time ministry since 1998. And so yeah, I'm his full-time caretaker. And so when he's off of school, I train when my son is in school.
Mm,
And and
mm,
training really it's only like an hour or two a day, right? And so there's so many other hours in the day. But I make sure I get training. My wife knows it's important because it's for my health. Even I love it, but it's for my health. And yeah, I don't, and I most of the time I don't train on the weekends, and I only compete maybe once or twice a year
mhm.
for fun. And so it's
Yeah.
because my family takes so much of my time.
Wow.
And actually, being in ministry and balancing ministry and family, to me, I learned it there when I was in full-time ministry.
Mm,
And so because there's ways of thinking out there in ministry that, if you're in ministry, I've heard people say if you're in ministry, you'll never see your kids, you'll hardly see your wife, but that's the price that we got to pay. And you know what? I don't think that's a price that I want to pay. I don't want to pay the price of my family. And I think God wants me to take care of my family, to be with them.
yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. It's a big sacrifice, and that's your main focus. So jujitsu can't be your life.
It can't be because I would be miserable, right? Jiu-jitsu is fun. I love it. It's fun. But when it comes down to it, man, what fulfills me is raising my kids,
Mm,
is making my wife happy. And it also grounds me, right?
mm,
I'm not all that, right? My wife will make sure. Now, my wife loves me. She brags about me, But my kids, my daughter's always telling me how bad my breath smells.
Yeah. So marriage and parenting are as humbling as being on the mat.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we need to, and it's funny, gosh, and this, I'm talking on a pastoral side, right? And I've heard other pastors say this. You just got to do the normal stuff, like mow your lawn, right? Take care of your house. You got to do like this is the stuff that keeps you, that is what life is, that keeps you grounded. And so not that, I love ministry. I enjoy ministry, but I have a pastor friend, and this is what he says. He preaches this. He says, he tells his congregation, your pastor is not all that. It's not about me. And he even says this. He actually pastors a church in LA called Hopeland Church in East LA. And he says, your pastor's not all that. And he even says this, Hopeland Church, this church, we're not all that, right? Because in this day and age, it's about marketing and this church, this is the in church. And this church is not all that. Your pastor's not all that. Jesus is all that. God is all that. And so I think our focus has, of what ministry is, and our focus of what churches are, I feel like we over market them, and we over glorify the church and the ministry. Our job is to glorify God. And it's there's sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes there's, that's the happening. That's the cool. Oh, they do it like this. That one is big. But maybe sometimes God wants to do something big in a small space. Or maybe, it's funny, we're going back and forth between Jiu-Jitsu and ministry.
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu and Jesus. But maybe, I call it, they're doing it sexy. Not like sexy, not like, but that's cool, right? Can I tell you, when I became a Christian, when I was just hungry for the Lord, and I started going to this church that was maybe on a good Sunday, there'll be like 45 people. Ooh, that was a big Sunday. It was this super small church. Everybody wore suits. This was in the early 90s. And most of the people, they were elder people. And it wasn't like the hippest. There were pews. They didn't have the modern stuff, right? The service wasn't produced. It was very
bare bones,
bare bones, not professional.
Yeah,
not sexy. But man, we were hungry for God. There was a group of us young people, and we were hungry for God, and we encouraged each other, and we desired to live holy. And it wasn't the biggest group, but because of our hunger, none of the cool stuff mattered. What mattered is if we were there and the presence of God was there. Our pastor, the head pastor, was like 86 years old. The associate pastor under him was 23 years old.
Oh,
and
wow.
I had just turned 18 years old when I got saved, but we were hungry. And it didn't matter all this other, I don't know, the stuff that would attract you.
The cool stuff.
Just teach me the Bible. Just teach me the Bible. Tell me about Jesus. And the music wasn't, I don't know, Christian music in the 90s. It's cool now. It's got a lot of cool now.
Man.
But in the 90s, I don't know. Were you a believer in the 90s?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So Carmen, remember Carmen?
Come on.
Dude, I love Carmen back then. Right? Oh, I remember first time I heard The Champion, I was like crying. I don't know if people are going to know what I'm talking about, but I was like, weeping. Or Keith Green. Do you know who Keith Green is?
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Dude, I love. Right. And I was this teenager coming off the street.
You're talking about pre-Chris Tomlin era.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was this teenager coming off the street and just learning about Keith Green, and it wasn't like the coolest thing, but there was so much depth to it.
Yeah. Depth. And kind of circling back to like what Jesus, but also what jiu-jitsu means in people's lives. One of the benefits that, where I can agree with how Jiu-Jitsu saves people's lives is sometimes you can get stuck in negative patterns and just in the daily grind, focusing on other people, disconnected from your body, and just unhealthy ways of coping with stress.
Yeah.
And so I do agree that, like, in many ways, that Jiu-Jitsu can save someone's life physically with their physical health. It can save them from isolation,
Totally.
having a community, especially if you join a solid, healthy gym with people who are welcoming, like Quoc, right, to new people. And it also is very empowering. It can change the way not just how you're doing physically, but the way you see yourself, right? But you're talking about something deeper. You're talking about, spirituality and
Yeah.
identity, right? It can be a huge part of our lives. I mean, purple belt, even though you're not a pastor anymore, you're
Yeah.
still you're still doing jujitsu, all right?
Yeah.
And for me, like, doing a jujitsu podcast and coaching, it's a significant part of life, right? And I want to do jujitsu for the rest of my life, but jujitsu isn't my life.
Totally.
And I don't think I shared this earlier. There was definitely a time where jujitsu became an obsession. In the Bible, we call that becoming an idol in Christian world. And it just got really out of balance. I was neglecting my wife. I was neglecting my young daughter to train jujitsu, to think about jujitsu, study jujitsu all the time, or MMA. And the goal was to, like, become a pro fighter. I was training with pro fighters, like, so of course you're in a gym with pro fighters, you're gonna want to become like the people that you hang around with, right? So that was the aspiration. Um, when I was younger, it became an addiction, not
Yeah.
not in the healthy way, like an unhealthy addiction, way out of balance. And so I got injured and some other stuff in my life where I call it, I had to go into recovery to deal with my addiction and my identity, right? A little bit of small man syndrome,
Yeah.
right? A little bit of the chip on my shoulder, wanting to punch people in the face, but wanting to be somebody, wanting to make a name for myself, not feeling enough, right? And I still feel the draw, the temptation in some ways to, like, be better, to like measure up and be enough. Like, I have to keep myself in check. So I appreciate this conversation,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
because the temptation is like, if you're like on social media or if you have a podcast, you want to grow, right? Just like
Yeah.
churches want to grow, right? Like podcasts,
Hmm.
I want to grow, right? I have to remember, push comes to shove, at the end of the day, at the end of my life, it's not about me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I think you should want your jujitsu to grow and get stronger.
mm,
Um, and honestly, it's in order to have balance in your life, you're gonna have to work at it in anything, in your marriage, raising kids. You're gonna have to work at it. Like even with jujitsu, especially the things because when you're into jujitsu, right?
mhm, mhm.
I'm watching Instagram video. Oh, that's a cool technique. Oh, I'm gonna
Right.
try that. I'm
You're
thinking about
student of the
techniques.
game.
Yes. And so you have to make sure it's in its place. And there's nothing wrong with thinking about jujitsu outside of the gym. That's
Mm.
how you get better. But like even today, right? I'm in church
Mm.
and I'm worshiping. But then I'm start
Real
thinking
talk,
about
real talk.
jujitsu while I'm worshiping,
Yeah, man.
like technique, or I'm like, okay, stop in its place. And so
Yes. Yeah.
it's being balanced means sometimes you might feel that out of balance, but you do something about it.
Okay.
It's not just all right, I'm just gonna, you feel it, but all right, this is not the place. And so you got to fight that. It
Yeah.
takes work.
Yes. Yes. Mindfulness, focus,
Yeah.
all things that jujitsu teaches us,
Yeah.
and the Bible.
Yeah.
So for our listeners that maybe don't share our faith in Jesus, thank you. If you've listened this far, thanks for giving it a shot. Thanks for giving it a listen. Do you have any advice for non-believers with jujitsu in their lives and their
Uh,
identity and performance?
Gosh, for non-believers, and their identity and performance in the sport. It's easy to lose yourself in it. And once
Yeah.
again, it is a gift. Enjoy it, but don't make it, because if you make it your whole thing and that thing is removed from your life
Right.
because of an injury or because of any other reason, then all of a sudden there's like you feel like you're not living, right?
It's a void. When I got injured,
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
I'm a Christian, when
Yeah.
I lost it because I put so much of myself into it,
hmm
man,
Yeah.
depression, it was huge.
If you're just starting jujitsu, you had a life before jujitsu. You have a life right now while you're in jujitsu. If
Mm.
jujitsu gets removed from your life, you still have a life. So don't make your life one thing. And there's nothing wrong if jujitsu is like a big part of your life. If you're making money off of it, if you're winning, if you are becoming very successful in it, that's great. That's great. But you gotta have relationships. You gotta have something else rather than jujitsu to be your everything. You can't lose yourself in it. It's funny because at my gym now, we have, it's almost the opposite. There are young guys that grew up in the gym. And I think they're like 18, 17, 18. Some of them are their first year in college.
Yeah.
And it's funny, they have what it takes to be very successful in jujitsu. Very, like very successful, but they're like, oh, I'm going to go to college. And some of the coaches are like, oh, what are you doing? But it's funny. Gosh, I love them. They're not controlling. My gym is like the least thing from controlling. But they're letting these kids make their choices and live their lives. But these kids are like young champions. They're so good. But they're choosing like college and, oh, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be an engineer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the gal who just won the Olympic gold medal, she retired, I think when she was like 14, 15 and
Yeah.
went to college, and sometimes they come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
because she
it's
lost the
healthy.
joy. According to the story, she lost the joy of it, right?
Yeah.
And then so why do it?
And it's neat. She found her life outside of
Yeah.
skating. So yeah. So thank you so much. It's good to
Yeah.
catch up with you.
Totally.
Any last thoughts?
You know what? My last thought is this. I'm a small guy. My game is I get crushed. That's my game. Not because it's my strategy, but I have no choice. And everyone in my gym is big. They're all bigger than me. And so I get crushed in half guard.
Mhm.
And I work from there. I sweep, I submit from half. I get crushed. And sometimes life will bring you to a point where you feel like you're getting crushed and you have no choice because maybe life is tough sometimes. Funny, I was just thinking about this scripture earlier. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, many, right? But the Lord delivers them out of them all.
Yes.
And so with jujitsu, sometimes you learn to be in a place of crushing, in a place of suffering. But that suffering, it makes you better. So if you're in jujitsu or in life and you're suffering, if you can endure through it, it's going to make you better.
Oh, that's a good word. Thank you
Yeah.
for your time today. I hope I get to come train with you sometime down in Reading, or
Let me
you
know
make
if
your
you're
way
ever
back up
here.
here.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Dude, I would love to come back up there and train with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great. All right. Thank you for your time today.